Canadians from coast to coast are facing sky-high home prices and soaring rents. In many instances, young families in Canada are getting desperate to make ends meet and taking otherwise drastic steps to keep their families afloat. According to one journalist, many young families are resorting to living in mobile homes to help keep life affordable. And while that might help financially, there are some serious hurdles that face those making the move to a mobile home. Joining us now to discuss this is Hadassah Alencar, journalist with Canadian Affairs. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Julie. Great to be here.
In your research on this trend, how much cheaper is it for these young families to move into a mobile home in comparison to renting locally or trying to buy?
Well, buying a traditional home is more than double the price of a mobile home. So in Canada, the average price for a detached house was $655,000 last month, while a mobile home costs around $250,000. So the cheaper price tag is definitely attractive. And we see the same pattern with renting. In Montreal, the monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment is $1,600. I spoke to Céline Guy, a real estate agent in Quebec. She told me the cost that mobile home owners have to pay, which is the cost for their mobile home house and potentially the land rental fee, is still less than the $1,600 that most renters pay in the city. So it's definitely a more affordable option.
You point out in your article that most of the time it isn't possible to get a mortgage for a mobile home. Why is that the case? And if those in mobile homes can't get a mortgage, how do they finance the purchase?
Well, this is because most mobile homes generally aren't sold with the land they're on. So mobile homes owners, they have to pay for the home itself and they rent the land that they live on. Because of this, lenders see this as a risky investment because they will probably not be able to recuperate their money in case they have to sell the home due to a foreclosure. Instead, many mobile home owners can get a personal loan, and those can have higher interest rates. But there are exceptions. For example, I've since heard that RBC does have a special mortgage for mobile home owners that do not own the land they live on.
So as you're talking about, mobile homeowners don't usually own the land that the home is on. What are some other potential problems that they could face?
Well, if the landowner decides to develop the mobile home community into something else, like a commercial or a residential space, those in the park will have to relocate. And a mobile home technically can move to a different location, but it's pretty expensive to do so. The cost of this full service move that would include disconnecting and reconnecting the utilities and other services, it's around $3,000 to $14,000. This price really depends on the size of the house and how far the house has to travel, but it's still a pretty hefty sum to have to take on by surprise.
Now, in Canada, many expect to use the sale of their home as part of their retirement. Does the same apply for those who have purchased a mobile home? Are we seeing mobile homes appreciate in value, like freehold homes, townhouses, or condos?
Well, I mentioned before how lenders could sometimes see mobile homes as a risky investment. And that's because mobile homes tend to decrease in value because they're not attached to land. All homes get old. All the homes that we can live in, the detached homes, the townhouses, like you mentioned, but property land tends to rise. Property land value tends to rise, which helps homeowners build home equity, which can fund their retirement. That's why many mobile home owners are retirees themselves. After having lived in a traditional house their whole lives and they sell it, they can move into a more affordable mobile home option. However, since COVID-19, mobile homes have appreciated a bit in value. So I saw sales from 2016, 2017 of mobile homes. They were generally under $120,000, but this year they bumped up to the $250,000 mark.
So in speaking with those who have made the move to a mobile home, what are some of the positives they have encountered?
Well, what I heard is how much they love the tranquility and the community. I interviewed Karine Muse, who just moved into a mobile home with her daughter last year after having lived in an apartment for 10 years. And she told me she was so happy to be a homeowner and not have to give up all the things that she loves to do. If she had bought a $500,000, $600,000 home, they would have had to live on a pretty tight budget. But with a mobile home, she can still afford restaurants and pay for her daughter's sports and tickets to go to a show. She actually said, I can still live life. And she also said something I've heard many people in the mobile home industry say, that the community is really friendly and tight knit. A couple of weeks ago, she and her neighbor helped each other to put up their car shelters for winter. And so she says that she really loves how neighborly the community can be.
Thank you so much for your time today.